everyone. Welcome back to another Friday and another Casual Champion review. Today, I am pissed off. I just wanted one game of Annie. That's all I wanted. Just one. But then I get camped by Alistar 24/7 every time I try to say anything. I have the next game. I panic because we're loading into the game too fast and I press start stream instead of start record and I don't notice until 30 minutes right into the match. I hate everything. I hate it here. And I hate all of myself. Oh, God. And I get to play Annie Hostar. I think that's her name. I don't know. I don't care. I am tilted before the game has even begun. Anyway, how are you guys doing? I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. And take a look at this. Take a look at the fan art stuff. You guys never... It's a brining shine of optimism to see this, and it made me feel a little bit better that after my horrible failed game, I saw some of this, and it made my day. Everyone's like now including all kinds of different stuff. Like people are including the other characters. Like there's the Ace Demon and Nikki Man and Nikki Girl. It's great. You guys are so creative. It makes me happy, and now I'm not happy because I'm playing Annie from League of Legends, and I hate this character. If you couldn't tell by the voice in my head, the what? By the tone of my voice, today's not been a very good day. I also found out that Riot did in fact send me a key to play Mage Seeker. That's right. Riot found out I exist. I was just as shocked as you are right now. Unfortunately, the key they sent me arrived in my email about an hour or two after I'd already started streaming, and as such, was completely useless. But you know, at least Riot knows I exist, so that's kind of cool, right? I guess. Today we're here to talk about Annie, another one, back to back of one of the oldest champions in League of Legends. I don't get why it's all the A champions. Annie, Amumu, Anavia, Ahri's kind of old now, but like Ashe. Dirt old. And it should come without saying that her gameplay has not aged spectacularly, nor has her model. However, her lore has aged spectacularly. I argue it is actually quite fantastic, even if it does have a few parallels with Amumu a little bit. And that could be, of course, because she had an absolutely fantastic animation cinematic. I know the whole point of the Amumu music video is it's supposed to tug at your heartstrings, but Annie, like, that's the one that really hit home for me. The Annie one is just amazing. From the way it's animated to the way the reactions of the characters are. I love it. It does raise this question, though. A lot of people ask me about it, that is the Daisy in the Annie cinematic the same Daisy that we see with Ivern? And I'm telling you right now, no. The idea behind it is that it's like reincarnation or something, but there could be like a million Daisies on planet Earth. I'm sure there can be 2 in Runeterra. Besides the cinematic, we know a little bit more about Annie thanks to Legends of Runeterra, and she's actually gotten some stories over the years. Like, we know that Tibbers is actually a demon called Tabalk, which is cool. I like that his name isn't actually Tibbers, because, you know, children give nicknames to their stuffed animals and to their toys. That's kind of cute. It makes Tibbers it's a funny nickname for Tabalk. Do we know what Tabalk is the actual demon of? We know he is a demon. Usually the demons have a theme, right? Like Evelyn is agony, or Fiddlesticks is pure fear, and Nocturne's paranoia. I always assumed that Tabalk was like the demon of rage, or like the fear of losing control. Even that could work. The problem is that Ashlash, that's Neela's demon, kind of threw everything for a loop. Where before we thought that demons were all centered around fear, and then Ashlash comes around saying, "Hey, no, I'm about being happy." So what do we know about Annie's lore? Well, we know that her mom was also was she a mage? I mean, she was in the Ravenbloom Conservatory, which is where Annie goes later, and she was bound to Tabalk because LeBlanc was in possession of him and just tried to experiment. You know, LeBlanc's all about experimenting on stuff and trying to make bigger weapons for Noxus to fight back Mordekaiser, which I suppose is why she wants to use Tabalk specifically, because Tabalk was at Mordekaiser's side. So Annie's mom was bound to Tabalk, so she has the fire powers and the rage and all that jazz. It wasn't until Annie was born. It's kind of a misconception that Annie was not born a fire mage, that she actually got all her powers from Tibbers. That's not true. She actually was a powerful mage right from the beginning. and Tibbers only amplified it. I don't remember what happened, if Annie's actual mom died or what. She left or something. But in any case, she bound to Bulk to Tibbers so that it could be with Annie, and treats Annie as sort of like she's like her protector in a way, because he kind of bonded with Annie's indomitable will or something like that. I don't know. Again, it's kind of all over the place. Annie's an old character. I mean, not literally. You know what I mean. Get him, Tibbers. Kick his ass. Let's go, Tibbers. Yeah. Man, Tibbers actually like avenges Annie when she dies. Daisy just doesn't care. Daisy dies instantly as soon as Ivan dies. I'm not used to this. So we know how the rest of the story goes. Annie's mom disappears. Her dad's left to pick up the pieces and eventually marries another woman who has a daughter of her own named Daisy. And then the mom and the dad get together. So Annie is a stepsister, but then Annie doesn't like sharing things. And the mom hates Annie. And then Annie gets angry and her fire powers come out every now and again. And then Daisy drowns in the river, and then she accidentally burns down the house, and then her dad dies. And then her stepmom's like, what the fuck are you doing, child? You killed my husband and you killed my daughter. I'm going to kill you. Actually, I'm going to rip apart your teddy bear. And Annie gets really pissed off and burns her alive. So yeah, that's like what happens to this generic schoolgirl character from the MOBA from 2009. So now she's roaming the countryside around Noxus trying to find friends and family to just love her, I guess, which is weird because that's Amumu's thing. I do remember she did get a short story. I don't remember what it was called. It went along the lines of Annie is wandering around the countryside and discovers a tavern. And in the tavern, she asks for something simple. She just wants a glass of milk. And the tavern keeper's like, oh, what is this child doing out here? I guess I should give this child a glass of milk. I'll just take whatever money she offers. It's not that big of a deal. And then she brings up this giant bag of coins. And the bartender's like, oh shit. I probably shouldn't let all these thieves standing nearby notice that this child has an immaculate amount of money. That definitely is way more than this milk costs. But of course, a bunch of thieves notice and they are asking Annie like, hey kid, where'd you get that coin from? I want it. And he's like, Tibbers got it for me. They're like, oh, that's great. What about your parents? Surely they'd want a ransom for you. She's like, no, my family's dead. Oh, okay. So we can just kill you then. And then she unleashes Tibbers, and then the entire tavern burns down. And it's just like, man, tavern keeper didn't deserve that. That's not fair. He was kind. That worked? I can't believe that worked. Okay, cool. So it's to be believed that LOR is canon, and I hope so. There's a lot of great stuff in LOR. She's at the Ravenbloom Conservatory, at least she was. She was brought by the people who brought her mom there. And she burned it all down. Just, you know, cause she can, and cause she's like, oh, Tibbers, oh, you speak to me. I'm gonna burn it down because it's funny. And that's kind of where her personality's lacking for me. She's just, ho-ho. Burn things. Oh, hoo, hoo. So her whole personality is delved around her being all childish and innocent, that she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she does have some kind of like twisted humor about it. Like she likes causing destruction, which is weird because that conflicts with the whole thing that was said earlier. It's, oh, I just want to make some friends. I don't, Annie, you care more about like burning down the buildings these supposed friends are in. I don't know about that. It doesn't really come across either. You'd think she'd be horribly traumatized, or maybe it's like Jinx, where like, if it's like Powder in Arcane, where it's meant to be a coping mechanism that she laughs and is all joyful about the destruction in front of her. Or maybe to Bulk's feet or anything like that. Maybe she's got like Pyrovision. That'd be a fun avenue, baby. She's like, she sees everything as all happy and fun, and then everyone likes fire, like how Melio does it, but everyone's fucking dying. Ooh. I'm sure you enjoyed that, Mr. Bugman. See, when Annie is fed, that's the kind of shit that happens. I just kind of look in their general direction, and then they die. Is that lore accurate? I don't know. Run. There is something kind of humorous about the literal god of justice, like divine being sent down from the heavens to judge the wicked and purge this world of the unworthy. Running from like a small child with a teddy bear, like no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro. No. What? Huh? Was it? They died of Ludens? Was that the legendary Ludens kill? Cool. Looks like Annie's lore is pretty good, helped by an amazing cinematic, of course. I think if she didn't have that, she'd be kind of forgettable. But look at that. God, the design does not translate well at all. And to give it credit, it's like a Moo. It's like Anavia. She was designed all the way back in 2009. And granted, she doesn't look like how she did in 2009. They gave her a model update back when model updates were just... don't make them look like they came from 2001. So she didn't really get any kind of design overhaul, because, like, really, how is anyone supposed to figure out this character comes from Noxus? The red hair? I guess. That's not even consistent. In the cinematic, it's brown. Oh, Soraka, oh, you... Don't you know? You can't heal fire. Fire kills people. I mean, just like the purple dress, the cat ear headband, the pink backpack, the socks, like... What is Noxian about this? Nothing. The LOR version does a better job, but it's not really that much of a difference. It just gave her like a big chest plate, I guess. This is gonna sound like I'm repeating what Skyen's saying, but it's true. She was made to embody an archetype, not to challenge it, you know. GP was a pirate, Ash was a frost archer, and Annie was the creepy child. You've seen it down 1,000 times, and Annie's version is really just not that interesting. Could it be made cooler? I think so. I think that the idea of making her just, teehee, I'm evil, I like evil, burn, fire, death, destruction is fine, but it gets old really quick. I was hoping they'd give her more personality traits in Legends of Runeterra beyond that, but really all he did was just expand on that original idea by just making her do that more, and I'm not a huge fan of that. You know what I should have brought this game? Predator. So I could just run at him really fast. Or I could have gotten Hextech Gunblade, but who gets that thing anymore? Like, did they remove Hextech Gunblade? I haven't seen... No, I just never see anyone build this thing anymore. And her gameplay, I will admit, it's not like Anavia. It's got a bit of satisfaction to it when you're fed like this. But I mean, what mage is fun when you're not fed, I guess. But the combo is satisfying to see them evaporate before your very eyes. I'm not sure what else to say about Annie. Like, her design could have been a lot better. I hope she gets some kind of model update in the future. Thing is, I don't feel as passionately about her as I do with someone like Anavia. Like, I see the massive potential a character like Anavia could have, or even maybe a Mumu to an extent. But with Annie, I'm like... I don't know. I feel like the archetype's been so done to death. I don't know how I would improve her. Maybe it's also I just don't feel passionately about her because I'm just not overly fond of children characters in general. I mean, I like Nunu and Willump, but that's mostly because Willump is there. Willump is the nice balancing act. I think if it was just Nunu, it wouldn't be as endearing. And Zoe drives me up the goddamn wall. I cannot stand that character. Emilio's okay. I don't mind Emilio. He's fine. On the topic of her skins, I'm just going to think off the top of my head here. I mean, Fright Night, it's probably the best one, but I also just have an affinity for Fright Night. I have grown to like Cafe Cuties a lot more, mainly just because Tibbers in a tuxedo as a giant gummy bear is just phenomenal. I love that so much. Giant hulking Teemo from Anniversary is also great, but Annie's got a lot of old, really gross ones. Like the old goth Annie is just a color palette swap. Almost prom queen Annie. That one strikes me as really bizarre because she's like 8 years old. Maybe I was just like a sad, lonely loser in elementary school, but did they have prom when you were 8 years old? Like, maybe that eluded my memory. You ain't getting away from me this time, ass. That's not her name, but that's how I feel about her right now. Oh, well, there we won. How about that? First win in a long time. Anyway, thank you for watching, fellas, for another Casual Champion review. I'll see you next week for Aphelios. Yes, goodbye. Oh.